sometimes I wish I could do what they do, you know? But it's like, that's not me. I don't want my picture taken. I don't want people to see what outfit I'm wearing. Every time there's paparazzi, I cover my face.
Welcome to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and in today's video, we'll be breaking down all of the celebrities who just couldn't handle the extreme abnormalities of being famous. Plus, to never miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button to join our notification squad. Now, without any further delay, let's just get right into today's list of the top 10 celebrities who couldn't handle fame. In at number 10, Dave Chappelle. Dave suddenly became the man in Hollywood after his shining success of his Comedy Central sketch series, The Chappelle Show.
My name is Tyrone Biggins. Sometimes the endless pursuit of crack leaves me tired and depleted. But now cocaine comes in a delicious shape.
Although at the height of the show's success, Dave declared that there was something wrong with Hollywood and that he wanted no part of it.
I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy, they're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
This meant that he was choosing to walk away from a $50 million contract with Comedy Central. He then picked up and moved his family to South Africa to stay out of the limelight for a little more than a decade. When speaking about his decision to leave the show, Dave told Page 6, "If you look at me, right, physically now, I'm like 40 pounds heavier than I was when I did the Chappelle Show. And people are like, how did you gain all that weight? By resting and eating and paying attention to myself." Adding, "I have actual relationships with my kids. I've been all over the country touring all my life, but I never saw anything," he explained. "Now I've seen everything. I could talk to people and had time to stop if someone said they liked me." Which, good for Dave Chappelle for noticing that. I mean, he's come back bigger than ever before. In at number 9, Megan Fox. Megan Fox had been acting since 2001, but her roles mostly consisted of small television appearances here and there. However, in 2007, she landed a leading role in the first movie of the Transformers franchise. After the massive success of the first film, Megan Fox rose to A-list celebrity fame. But when she returned for the second movie, her career took a sudden nosedive. After a dispute with director Michael Bay, Fox was suddenly dropped from the rest of the franchise. Shia LaBeouf told the LA Times, "Megan developed this Spice Girl strength, this woman empowerment stuff that made her feel awkward about her involvement with Michael, who some people think is a very lascivious filmmaker, the way that he films women." Upon reflecting on her being kicked out of the Transformers franchise, Megan told Cosmopolitan magazine, "That was absolutely the low point in my career, but without that thing, I wouldn't have learned as quickly as I did. All I had to do was apologize, and I refused. I was so self-righteous at 23, I couldn't see that it was for the greater good. I really thought I was Joan of Arc." In at number 8, Rob Kardashian. The Kardashian family first became famous when their father gained national recognition as O.J. Simpson's friend and defense attorney during Simpson's 1995 murder trial. From there, the fame was built upon by the rest of the Kardashian family. Well, mainly the women in the family who had no issue having a camera crew inside of their home and essentially direct their entire lives straight to TV. Unfortunately for Rob, he never felt comfortable in front of the cameras, but was constantly being pushed into the spotlight. Rob eventually became a recluse and would often refuse to appear on the show. He only left his house when absolutely necessary, and every time he did, the tabloids would still be commenting on his weight gains. In at number 7, Lindsay Lohan. Beginning as a child actor, Lindsay Lohan's breakout role started in the Disney 1998 remake of The Parent Trap. Later on in her career, she would get even more fame and notoriety for the success of Mean Girls. She seemed destined for long-term success. Unfortunately, that all began to crumble as her spending habits became increasingly expensive and legal troubles started coming her way. At 18 years old, she was worth over $30 million. Although Lohan started a terrible drug habit that was costing her nearly $5,000 a week. Then between 2007 and 2013, she was arrested a few times for DUIs, reckless driving, and altercations, and even shoplifting. In at number 6, Shia LaBeouf. Shia began as that cute kid from Even Stevens that always seemed to be getting himself into trouble. Apparently, some of that scripted TV behavior started to bleed over into his real life. In 2013, he tweeted out that his New Year's resolution for 2014 was to be less controversial. This, however, did not last very long, and on January 21st, and for 3 more days following that, he tweeted out, "I am not famous anymore." Well, your IMDb page could have told us that, Shia. He continued on this meltdown when he appeared at the premiere of Lars Van Trier's new film, Nymphomaniac. After claiming that his entire life was just an art project, LaBeouf showed up on the red carpet wearing a paper bag over his head that had the words, "I am not famous anymore," written in black marker. Apparently, even you can still show up to public events and do incredibly bizarre publicity stunts that just made him more famous. In number 5, Britney Spears. The mid-2000s were certainly not kind to pop sensation Britney Spears, from a bitter divorce to having a very public meltdown where she shaved her own head. It was only a matter of time before she had a run-in with the law. In 2007, she was charged with a hit and run while also driving without a license. Initially, she was looking at a year in prison for this, but she ended up not even spending a minute behind bars. It's a wonder how she was ever able to pull herself out of this downward spiral, but what's really concerning is how she managed to escape the law. Fame should definitely not exclude you from the repercussions of doing something illegal. However, Spears did serve as an excellent example of how being so famous can result in a multitude of mental health issues. That, and she burned her own gym down. Yeah, this lady's going nuts. In at number 4, Zayn Malik. Zayn first rose to fame when he joined the uber popular boy band One Direction. These kids were treated like the Beatles. Everywhere they went, fans were screaming and crying or breaking down just from seeing them. Those fans cried even harder though when Zayn announced that he was leaving the band.
I think I kind of always wanted to go, from the first year, really. I never really wanted to be there.
The fame ultimately was all too much for him, and then on top of that, he was forced to play music that he didn't like and have no input on the songs. But now he's got a baby on the way, so I'm sure he's much happier being a dad. In at number 3, Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish has been creating music since she was 13 years old, even boasting in previous interviews how her first song had hit 1,000 plays, which she believed at the time was incredible. However, with the release of her debut album, Eilish witnessed a growth in fame that brought those views into the millions. She suddenly was thrusted into the limelight and had her days packed with performing or working in the studio.
You know what I'm saying? It was year after year of being a child and having this insane, all these eyes on me, and it was really difficult for a while.
Dealing with that much fame at such a young age had to be startling, and I don't think anyone is capable of properly handling it. Billie has said countless times that she's grateful for her fame, but argues that there are times that she wishes she could turn it off. Mainly at the airport. I read a terrible story about people walking up to her and poking her while she was sleeping. I mean, come on, you gotta wish you could turn that off at some point. In at number 2, Amanda Bynes. We should have known back in 2010 when Amanda Bynes said that she was retiring from acting, then unretiring, then deleting her Twitter account, that something was seriously wrong. After the Amanda show ended, she began behaving more and more erratically. She was in multiple car accidents, there was a noticeable altering of her appearance, and she was arrested for reckless endangerment after she threw a bong out of her apartment window in New York City, which is nuts. As I mentioned, in 2010, she announced that she was retiring from acting. At the time, she was only 24 years old, but felt pigeonholed as the goody-goody type in Hollywood. This specific casting, combined with the Nickelodeon kid image imposed on her, could most likely be what led to this child star imploding, for lack of a better word. Last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse will always be remembered for her hits such as Rehab, Back to Black, and Tears Dry on Their Own. Although Winehouse was certain that she wasn't cut out for the highs and lows of celebrity life. She insisted that she only ever wanted to be a musician and never chased that life for fame. In the 2015 documentary titled Amy, we got to hear a now all too chilling soundbite of the late English singer-songwriter answering a question about her career path.
I don't think I'm going to be at all famous. I don't think I could handle it. I would probably go mad, you know what I mean? I would go mad.
The new documentary gave a very candid look into the Grammy-winning artist's life before her tragic passing from alcohol poisoning in 2011 after struggling for years with substance abuse. Rest in peace, Amy Winehouse. And that has been the top 10 celebrities who couldn't handle fame. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editing team for making me look so good. If you enjoyed this video, please show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on today's list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, saying until next time, stay classy. But I never saw anything, he explained. Now I've seen everything, I could talk to people. Now I've seen everything, I could talk to people. Got it. That was absolutely the lowest. That was absolutely. Beginning as a child actor, Lindsay Lohan's breakout role. Later on in her career, she would get even more fame and notoriety for the success of Mean Girls. Got it. Later on in her career, she would get even more fame and notoriety for this success. It's those S words. Worth over $30 million, much like Gary. Why did I write that? I was onto something.